Good afternoon, guys. Welcome to the market close. Welcome to Friday. This is your gateway to the weekend. And what a week! This is our fifth market close in a row because it's December, and through December, we're doing this little thing we're calling the Financial Express. So, what that is every market close, there will be an opportunity to add another market close. So it's kind of like that hype train over there on the Twitch, but yeah, it's fun. It's fun. So today, of course, today will be our opportunity to add a show on Monday. So if you want a Monday market close, we're looking at either 4 supers or 4 gifted subs or a combination. And guys, technically now it's 3 because Wahipple has gotten in here really early, 2:54. Oh boy, like that's almost an hour before the stream starts. But for that effort, Wahipple is our first goat of the day. So yeah, we're playing with 3 now. So not too shabby at all. Okay. Now, we do, as the sign behind me indicates, we got a red day on the market. Oh boy, why do we have a red day? What's the catalyst at play today? Well, one of the big catalysts is jobs. So we had November's jobs report come out, and well, yeah, it was good. Which you might say, okay, but why did that make it red? Well, the stronger than expected jobs data means that there's a greater chance that the Bank of Canada is going to not cut the rate in December. I believe the meeting is on the 10th. So this is not a good omen for that meeting. And we've had a little bit, we've had 2 bad omens now. We've had CPI, so we have the inflation coming in a little bit lower, and we've had some economic strength. We've also had GDP coming in higher. So technically 3. And now jobs coming in higher. So there's probably, there's probably not a great chance now, unfortunately. If you're hoping for a rate cut in December, it may not happen. Now, mind you, there's still time between now and then, but that is one of the key drivers today behind that red. Those job numbers, also unemployment fell too. I mean, that's great if you're looking for work, definitely, but it's not great if you're looking for a rate cut. We also had a little bit of slippage on the oil sector. Energy did pull back a bit today. That also helped bring things down across the board, of course. And there's also fears because of, you guessed it, Donald Trump mentioning that he might just let Kuzma expire. That, of course, is impacting the market as well. All right. We mentioned what they are, but let's take a look at the market. So here, let's pull it on up. So as you can see, we are down 0.56 today. So nicely in the red, and we're also below the blue line. So we're back in the red for December. So, well, what can I say? Now, the U.S. is doing a little better. So if we actually take a look at the S&P 500, they currently are 0.07. I would call that kind of flat because it's, it wouldn't take much for them to fall into red before the market closes here in 12 minutes. Yesterday I was late. Today I'm not going to be late. Not going to be late on the bell. The NASDAQ is up 0.40. So having not a bad day, not a bad day. And there's actually some news out of tech that we'll talk about. We'll talk about a little bit. Well, I'll just mention it right now. Netflix. So Netflix is looking to they're looking to buy WB. So they're looking to buy Warner Brothers and HBO, or HBO Max, or whichever version their name is at this point. But yeah, that could be a very interesting play for Netflix. But everybody and their dog thought that Paramount was going to get to buy WB, but it looks like it's going to be Netflix. I think that could be a good move for Netflix overall. So We'll see how that goes. We'll talk a little bit more. We'll take a look at Netflix a little later. Amazingly enough, even with this good news, Netflix is not having a green day. The Dow Jones also just up a little bit, 0.08, and the little caps from the Russell, they're down a little bit. They're down 0.41. Gold is down today, 0.19. Silver's up 2.18, so that's not too shabby. Copper also up a full 2%. WTI. WTI is actually up at this point. So maybe we'll see a little bit of recovery in the Canadian market before the end of the day. But I wouldn't count on it. I wouldn't count on it. And crypto today is having a red day. Both Bitcoin and Ethereum are down. All right. Let's head into the heat maps. Let me tell you, anything with the word heat, we can certainly use it on this side of the country because it's another cold one today. I think right now it's pretty warm. It's pretty warm right now. -17 wind chill. Yeah, that's pretty warm. Last night, it was like -26 wind chill. So, and that's Celsius. But that's the neat thing for any of the Americans who are watching this right now. When you get down to those type of temperatures, it's very compatible. So I know Chicago the other night had -20, a -20 wind chill. That's Fahrenheit. That would have been probably equivalent to around that -26. So we start to get, those scales get pretty close and comparable when you start talking about the big negative numbers for sure. Back once again to Canada. Banks mostly doing okay. Royal Bank up 2%, TD up 2%. Well, Royal Bank, it's actually 2.47, so closer to 2.5. CIBC up a full 4%. National Bank up 2.29%. So yeah, looking good in the banks. Some of our non-energy minerals are doing okay. Well, look at this. CCO, our good old uranium stock, up 5.33% today. I'm liking it. Now, both railroads are down a little bit. Not a lot, just a little. Like CN's down 0.3, CP down 0.18. And they've been pumping for a while, so they're okay to have an off day. But let's see if they can get back in the right direction soon. Celestica also having a pretty good day, by the way, up 4.19%. All right, heading south of the border. And, well, here we are. Look at this. Oops, I want to get rid of this. There we go. Oh, we have NVIDIA up a full 2%. Apple's down 1.41%. Meta having a pretty good day, up 3.38%. We also have Tesla. Tesla's been on a bit of a tear lately. They're keeping this momentum going. They're keeping it going for sure at the moment. I do like swinging Tesla, and I have not been able to get a new entry point because they keep going up. I need a correction. For sure. And over here is Netflix. This is the one I wanted to sort of touch on for a moment. So as I mentioned, the announcement came out today that they will be buying WB. So and that's part of that. Part of that deal is HBO Max. All of that content, of course, will be moved over to Netflix, which will give them a pretty good amount of content. Because I gotta say, right now, other than some of the destination shows like your Stranger Things and things like that, I don't think Netflix has a really great library. Now, that might be Netflix Canada, though. If you're using like a VPN and maybe take a look at Netflix USA, I think you get a lot more good stuff. But nonetheless, this could be a good move for Netflix right now. Investors not too crazy about it yet, but I think it's a good move. All right, heading on over to crypto. As we can see, we got a pretty red day. Bitcoin down 0.55. Ethereum, well, this one shows Ethereum being up 0.04, but it depends on when it measures at the beginning of the day. And I believe this chart measures it from, I don't know if it's like the prime meridian. It's Europe. I think it's Europe where it calculates the beginning and end of the day. So sometimes it's off a little bit from the main chart. Dogecoin also down as well. Now, we do have a little tradition here where I like to pick a coin that's having the opposite day of whatever the overall chart is. And right now it's a red day. So let's go really deep. Let's go really deep and we'll grab some little green down here. Let's grab this one here. What do we got? We got Elder Glade. Um, that sounds like a resort for retirees in Florida. We're down at the Glade here in the Everglade. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know what this does. I honestly don't care what it does. It pretty much retreated and it looks like a flat line to me, but apparently we got a tiny little road bump in that flat line. This one's not worth much. It's worth about 0.2 of a penny. I call these crap coins, and it's not because they stink. Well, they mostly do, but it's because, quite honestly, if you're buying them, you're better off going to the casino and throwing the dice at a game of craps. Even then, the house is probably gonna win. So be careful with some of these little coins. Find out if you are interested. Find out what it does. Maybe Elder Glade does have a purpose. I don't know, but maybe it does. Read the white paper. Find out. But honestly, if you're looking to get your feet wet in crypto, stick to your big coins, your Bitcoin, Ethereum, your XRP. Oh, look, now Ethereum minus 3.91. Okay. Maybe I just needed a refresh. Or Solana, all of these coins, even Dogecoin is a better bet, And what time? We've got 4 minutes to the bell. All right. Not going to miss the bell today. All right, let's go back to the big screen and let's go to the big me and say hi to the chat. So we got Stan in the house with a happy Friday. Brian says, good afternoon, everyone. Lord Fubar, hello, everyone. Another beautiful dividend day. It is. It's a pretty good day. Absolutely. And you know, on a red day, you get a lot of dividends on that red day. Oh, boy. You might be able to find some deals. Let's see. I just bought Dollarama and Big E shares with mine. Did anyone buy anything? Good question. Good question. I will tell you, I've not looked a lot at the charts today because I had one heck of an editing job to get done today. So the interview that I did with the 9 Point guys, that was about a 30-minute interview. Well, actually longer than 30 minutes, but I got it. I knocked it down to about 30 minutes with the editing, but it was a lot of editing. A lot of editing for sure. Michelle is in with a hi all right, and there's the Nightbot just reminding you about the Financial Express. So we do have one of the 4 already, so we're 3 away from a Monday show. Brian says, I'm just going to nibble away at CPCC and 6C for a little while, deciding what to buy with my US dividends. Oh, interesting. Yeah, maybe Netflix. Because I think this deal for Netflix is actually going to be pretty good. I think they will turn around after this. Paul says, good afternoon in 6 degrees Celsius, a BC lower mainland. All right, now that's the temperature for the US, folks. We kind of go way off the rails at this point. So there's an easy way, guys, if you ever want to convert. So this doesn't give you an exact number, but it gives you a close approximation. So if you take it and you double it, so take 6 and double it. So 6 doubled is 12. Add 32. So that's, what is that? That's 44. So 6 degrees Celsius is in the ballpark of 44 degrees Fahrenheit. In the ballpark. Obviously, there is an actual formula that you can use if you want exact numbers, but if you're looking to ballpark it, there we go. All right, and if you're going backwards, by the way, like if you wanted, let's say 100 degrees Fahrenheit, if you wanted to go backwards, you just do the exact same thing, but in reverse. So you take the 32 away first, so and that takes us down to what, 68. Then you just divide it in half. So half of 68 is 34. So 100 degrees in the summer is roughly a 34 degrees Celsius day here, roughly. All right. Or you could just ask Google. That's, if you don't want to think, ask Google for sure. Michelle, I don't understand the market at all. At all. Oh boy. Well, you've come to the right channel. We try to make sense of the market here for sure. Ian says, hey, everybody. Let's see. Michelle says, feel like sharing how to read charts, as in when it might be better to buy or to let go. Thanks. All right. Fair enough. That's a good question. That's a good question. Let's pull up the chart here for a second. Actually, before I do, I just noticed we got a super sticker in from the wonderful Mary, our captain of the like button. Of course, that means we got ourselves another goat in the corral. It's filling up. It's filling up. And we're halfway to a Monday show. So that's fantastic. Thank you very much, Mary. Now, guys, because Mary's here, you gotta hit the like button because Mary will speak up if you guys don't hit it. I'll have some coffee while you guys are just making sure your like button is blue. This is very good. Very, very, very good. All right, now let's get back to, let's see here. All right, so this is the one that I was on right here. All right, so this is the thing. So what I will normally do with a market. So let's say, well, first off, let's talk about one thing. If you are looking to invest, and you've got a long road ahead of you, the number one most profitable way is dollar cost averaging. I just want to put that up front because with dollar cost averaging, basically you're looking at the market, but you're also you're hitting it at a regular interval. So you're going to get highs, you're going to get lows, you're going to get everything in between. But on the other side, you will have paid a very fair price for the assets that you bought. So that's the best way to go. I'm putting that out there. Now, I know a lot of people love to buy the dip. I love to buy the dip. I tend to go with more of a hybrid. So I will dollar cost average for the most part, but I will usually have money on the side to to utilize if I get a nice little dip coming along. And so how do I look at that? Now, it's very similar. It's very similar to and you know what? I'm going to pull in here. Let's pull in, actually, I'm going to pull in the other Tesla, this one here. So this is the Tesla CDR. Now, there's a reason I'm pulling this in. All right, so, and guys, just give me a second. I'm going to try to shrink this even more. I'm going to shrink this even more because I want you to see this here. All right, now you'll see these red lines that I've got on the chart. Now, if you've never seen a chart like this with the red and green like this, it's known as a candle. It's a candlestick chart. So each of these candles, red indicates movement down, green indicates movement up. And the reason I call it a candlestick is you will see, actually, now I need to go in so you can see this here. All right, I'm going to come in really close here so you can look at these candles. You'll notice these little things coming off of it. They're wicks, right? A candle, so a candle wick. Now, what this means is if we look at this red one, this is an hour, because right now this is a 1 hour chart. So this is what happened to the price of, and this is the Tesla CDR. The Tesla CDR, this is what happened to the price in that hour. So what we can tell from this is that bottom of the wick, that's where it began the hour. It began the hour right here. In this case here, yeah, it did. It began it right here. This must be the beginning of the day. I'm not sure what's going on, but it started low and then it went up and it kept going to the top of the wick. But by the end of the hour, it retreated. It retreated a little bit. That's why we got a little wick. So it did come down a tiny bit. And, that's the top. Oh. Uh-oh. I can't believe it. I was doing it again. All right, guys. All right, well, it's okay. I caught it sooner than later. All right, so once again, let's take a look. So I was looking at this candle right here. So as I was saying, beginning of the hour, and I believe this would have been the opening of the day. And yes, you'll see the times are kind of off. That's because they are using that European time thing. Basically to keep one consistent time zone no matter where you are. So it would have came in here. So this is where it would have started. Oh my gosh, you know what? I just realized something. I think there is a marker in here. Yeah, there's a marker. Let's just see here. Yeah, we'll grab this brush. So it would have started right there. That's where the day began, where my little arrow is. And during that day, well, one thing, there's two things you can infer during that 1 hour time frame, because look up here. You see this 1 hour up here? I guess I can't write off of the screen. But yeah, this 1 hour is this, each of these candles is 1 hour. So in the beginning of the hour, it started there. Now, it did at one point fall. It at one point fell right down to here. So the bottom here, this bottom wick. So it did go down. Did it go down right away? Maybe. We don't know. All we know for sure is that somewhere in that hour, it fell, but then it rose again, and it rose all the way up to here. I'm going to put in another one. Let's see here. There we go. So it rose all the way up to there, the top of that wick, and then it retreated just a little bit. Now, if you use logic on this, obviously, this probably happened towards the end of that hour, because where it ended here, it seems more reasonable that it probably was up a little and just came down a tiny bit. So that's most likely, and that's why I think this probably happened early in the hour. So it might have opened the day, fell a bit, and then went back up. The next hour, you can see it came over, it went down a tiny bit, and then it went all the way up here, and then it came back. All right, so those are the green ones. With the red ones, it's the same thing, but in the opposite direction. So if you'll notice, this next one over here is red. So it came in, and in this case here, with the red one, and I'm going to see if I can grab a different one. Let's grab this one over here. So with this red candle, so for one, you look at the top of the candle right there, that's where it started the hour. Because remember how I said it's the opposite? So it starts at the top, bang. And at one point, it did go up. It went up to there. It went up. So it probably, once again, using logic, if it was already on the way up, it probably opened here, went back up, then it came down, and it made it all the way down to there, to the bottom of that wick, but it then picked up some energy and it closed right there at that part of the wick. So anyway, I don't even know why I'm explaining wicks, because that's not even the question, but I love tangents. I love tangents. So that's just something to keep in mind. So when we get back to this part, and this is kind of this is the part I wanted to talk about. Whoa. It's because I've got the writer thing going, but yeah, that's fine. So when you see a pattern, so you notice that those are in kind of a straight line. So one of the things that you can do is you can sort of look and say, okay, well, up around here, up around here, up around here, something seems to be pushing that price back. And that becomes, we draw a line through it. We pretty much put the line the best that we can. But that becomes your, basically in this case here, it becomes your ceiling. It becomes your resistance. It's a line of resistance. And then we look at the bottom and we'll say, okay, well, look, right about here, 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 here. This is the level where it keeps on coming back up. So this becomes a level of support. So if you're looking, so let's say you're in here somewhere and you're looking to enter into this asset. And this, like I said, this is the Tesla CDR, but it could be any asset. Well, obviously, if you've got this here going, and let's say you were right here. Let's say this is where you are. Well, if you're at the very top, you probably can get a better price because it's probably coming back down. It doesn't always, because it will break out. So if you'll notice the one that we have over here, it did eventually break out and went up to this layer. And up here, it did eventually break out and it came down to this other one. That's one of the things that happens. But they do get in, a lot of times stocks will get into these type of movement things. And one of the things you can think of with something like this is support. A general rule of thumb is the more times it bounces off a support, the weaker that support gets. Because you keep hitting a wall and you keep hitting a wall hard enough and eventually you will break through it. And that's and that goes in both directions. It goes in both directions. So these only last for so long. Depending on the asset, it can last, well, it depends on the asset. I've seen assets where they've been in a channel for a very long time. But Tesla is one of those stocks that loves channels. So, and here's the thing. I could pick a stock I've never seen before. And let's do that. Let's pick ABC. What is that? I don't know. Oh, it is a stock. It is a stock. All right, let's go look at this ABC. Oh boy. Go away. There we go. I had ad there popping up. Where's ABC at? Come on, guys. I just added ABC. Holy banana bread. I'm not seeing ABC. All right, we'll do it again. We'll do it again. ABC, ABC, 1, 2, 3, all of that fun stuff. Uh-oh. I missed the bell by 10 minutes. Oh, oh boy. All right. Oh, I've got too many in my list. It won't let me add. That's why. All right, I'll get rid of a couple here. I'll get rid of a couple. Oh yeah. Ding, ding, guys. I can't believe I missed it by 10 minutes. Rory, did you win the pool this time? All right. Let's try this one more time. ABC. There we go. ABC. Do. Bang. There we go. Now it worked. All right. Oh boy. This is not a very valuable stock. But that's fine. All right. So I'm looking here at ABC. I just wonder if I can bring it in a little bit, make it a little bigger here. All right, let's do it that way. All right, we can see, we can sort of see here. So, all right, so I'm going to take some lines. I'm going to get some lines in here, first of all. So if I was coming in, I'm thinking of going with this ABC, I'm going to take a look and say, all right, well, let's see what I can see. What's going on here? Oops. Guys, what happened? There's my line. I'm going to just drop, I'll just drop this first. I'll adjust it here in a moment. So I had this line. Now, it's broken out of this line. It already has, guys. That's fine. Let's ignore the breakout. Let's ignore the breakout. All right, here we go. And I'm going to draw in another line here. And then, then I'll adjust the line. I'll adjust it a little bit and say, all right, let's see what's going on here. All right, yeah, that kind of, see, we got all the contacts in there, so that looks pretty good. Let's look at this other one. I might come up a little bit. Maybe bring this one down a little bit. All right, so here we go. So now we've got, with this one here, we got a little bit of a channel. Now, in this case here, if I was looking at this today, I would be like, okay, look, it's broken out, and it's probably going to go into another channel of some sort, but it's already broken out of this channel. But if we were looking at it, well, last week, before it broke out of this channel, well, it's a different story. So if I came along, and let's say I was looking at it here, and let's get my drawer again. We'll get my drawer again. If I was looking at it right here, if I, on this day here, we'll just put that line. Well, if I looked at this chart, I would be like, oh, this is not the best place to buy, because chances are it's coming back down to here. Now, would I buy here? No, because look at this. It doesn't always, in this case here, it kind of always does, but a lot of times it will not make it to that line. So I would probably be looking, honestly, I would probably make like a little line sort of like this. And this is where I would be buying. So I probably would have ended up buying it somewhere in this vicinity right here. Just because I did this quick little chart, gave me a general idea. It doesn't mean I have to watch it like a hawk, right? So right here, it's sitting at 560, or whatever the heck these 560. I'm looking at that, and I'm looking at the price, 374. That doesn't make sense, but that's fine. Let's just use what's on the side here. I think that might be $5.60. No, it's not. It's not, because this is now higher than that. So anyway, I would buy it here, whatever that, I wouldn't buy it here, whatever that price is. I would put in a limit order and probably try to grab it down here. That's what I would do with this one. So that's kind of that thing, and you get a feel for it. And what I normally would say is, you know what? Just don't start doing it. Like, don't start buying like this immediately. Just go in, pick some stocks, draw your lines, make the prediction, and see if it follows. See if it follows. And keep in mind, yeah, here it would have been good if I came in here and planned to buy it down here. I would have missed it because it broke out. But that's fine, right? That's fine. It's okay to miss to miss an asset. I mean, it's gonna happen. It will absolutely. I mean, look at was it Rory? I think it was Rory trying to buy Bank. It kept missing the limit order, and that will sometimes happen. But yeah, that's just a general thing that you can do. All right, holy banana bread. All right, I am looking here. Oh, I got a few more things going on here. All right, Paul. Paul jumped in with a super sticker, or not a super sticker, a super chat for Tesla closing higher than Thursday. Nice, nice. And guys, that's another moment where we call it goat time, because he's the greatest of all time, and he's now in the corral with the other goats. I love it. I love it. All right. And let's see here. All right. Now, I'm going to jump over to this one here as well. So this is not, it's not a super sticker. This is a channel member sticker. So every channel member can do one of these every month. It doesn't count towards the, the supers that we do, for extra shows, but make sure that that you get read. Make sure that I read it. So Relaxing Rains took all my evolved dividends today and bought more 6 Nice. You might call it a 6 move. Are we ever going to stop with the 6 puns? Probably not. Probably not. They're absolutely fantastic. All right, now I just need to find where I was. All right, and I think I know. I was right about here. Do you think the Russell Index will do well in 26? I'm not counting on it, and I'll tell you why. So the Russell Index, of course, they're all small caps. And those are the companies that are more sensitive to economic turmoil. And, with all these tariffs, it's like at one point the U.S. has to pay the piper for these tariffs. And the people who will be paying the piper will be people like the Russell, people like the little companies. So I'm very cautious on them for 2026. But at the same time, everything's been kind of surprising me this year. So maybe I'll be wrong. I kind of hope I am. All right. Well, Hippo back. I am here for a bit, just waiting for our part of the train to get loaded. All right. Gotta love a good train ride. Scratch. Hi. Hope everyone had a great week. Bill says NVIDIA is down today. Your heat map is wrong. Uh-oh. All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look again here and see. Well, now my heat map is saying NVIDIA is... Whoops, sorry. I didn't mean to click on that. All right. That's weird. You know what? I probably needed to refresh. Now it looks like it's right. So that's weird. Bill says, and now it's right. Yeah, like it was right with Netflix. It was right with Netflix. So gosh. All right. Actually, let's go to the big screen. Well, I'm pretty soon we're going to get to the part where everybody is yelling at me because of the bell. Paul says, just hoping for Tesla to close above yesterday's close. Higher highs. Higher highs is a good thing. Brian, I'm still in the positive in my portfolio's TFSA, a whopping 0.05%. 2 cents down on a large holding, and I'll be down. RRSP up 0.21%. Hipple, I missed loser coin, hoping for rug pull coin. Oh, I know. Everglade sounds like a wizard from the Lord of the Rings. Yeah, it also or Elderglade. Yeah. It also kind of reminds me of those air fresheners too. Isn't there like some kind of Glade or something air fresheners? Brian, small market cap on those crap coins. Good luck finding them on any exchange. Yeah, I will tell you right now. It's you got a lot of hoops to jump through if you wanted to get, let's say, loser coin. Well, here, let's go. Let's jump through a hoop, guys. All right, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to pull down. I'll tell you, this is where I usually would go if I was trying to. Oh, I don't want to look at. I don't want to do that. I want to go to. I'll go to CoinGecko, and we'll see if we can figure out where you would need to go to get loser coin. All right, so let's go. Loser coin. All right, here we go. Where is loser coin? Right here. El Lobi. Oh, look at this. It's having a good day. It's up a bit. All right, so here's loser coin. Now, let me see here. All right, let's see here. I thought at the bottom here, I thought it had a place here that would show you, at least it used to. There used to be a little place on here that would show you where you would go to get it. Let me see here. Market news, similar coins. No, no, no. Buy, sell, info, explorers, community, chains. All right. Oh, it's on the BNB. It's on the BNB chain. So, all right. Well, yeah. This kind of gives you a little bit of an idea, I guess. Contract, no, loser swap. There we go. All right. Let's go to loser swap. So this is their website. Boxing live stream servers, your complete guide to watching boxing matches. What? Oh, they don't even exist anymore. Their website doesn't get this domain, loser. Oh boy. Yeah. All right. So we just by doing that, guys, just by doing that and following the breadcrumbs, if we come up to their site's not even active anymore, can you say that this would be a good coin to buy? No, I don't even, and I still don't know how to buy it. I still don't know how. Their website is no longer functional. Now they do have a community, so they've got a community over there on X, Telegram. Oh, I don't like Telegram, but you could probably go there and find out. They probably would tell you which. You might have to use a swap or something. I don't know. Yeah, boy. But now we do know, oh boy, yeah, there are two individuals, one from China and one from a village on the other. What? So apparently somebody from China and two from a village. What the heck? This this sounds really bad. This sounds really, really, really bad. Yeah. Anyway, why did I go down that rabbit hole? All right, let's get out of loser coin. Now we'll leave ourselves there, and I will bring myself back up big. Oh boy. All right. Ian says Bank, ENCL, Utes, RMAX, and HYLD paid dividends today. I bought a pile of Utes. Nice. Nothing wrong with Utes. That of course is the Evolve utility, and it's got a pretty good income on it too. Ian says F32 divided by 1.8 gets you Celsius, if I remember correctly. Yeah, there you go. I mean, and that's, like I said, there's actually a formula. And I think it's, yeah, 1.8 sounds about right. But like I said, the one I gave you will get you a ballpark. Yeah, it won't get you exact. It'll get you in the ballpark, though. And Claude says, hello, received all distributions today except Harvest. Okay. Uh-oh. Here's where it begins, guys. There's going to be 10 minutes of posting. Hit the bell. Hit the bell. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Apparently Brian used too many exclamation marks, according to the Nightbot. Let's see. Good afternoon, everyone. I pressed the like button. Thank you. Thank you. Brian says, I'm not going to miss the bell. I don't think anybody missed the bell today. You could be very late. Yeah, shock. Bell, bell, shock. Oh, gosh. No, we don't see the red lines, Candace. I am not going to miss the closing bell. ADHD. Just think of candles as imaginary lines. Do not see a chart. Show the screen. So I was managing, guys. Not only was I missing the bell, I was missing the bell and not sharing the screen at the time. Oh boy. Remember how I said after getting the suggestion that I should just gift memberships every time I miss stuff like that? Broke house. It would be a quick trip to the broke house. You can see why. Ah, boy. Going to beat Wednesday's bell time, and I did. I tripled it. HHIS missed the dividends. I'm hoping to deploy them before closing. Let's see, NASDAQ and SP 500 close green, and VFV and HXQ close down. Did they get? Yeah, they were both in the green. So the TSX, though, unfortunately. Ian, control your clanker. Nightbot is being a fascist. Won't let people use multiple emojis. Tell it to chill out. I tell the Nightbot to chill out all the time. Oh boy. Paul says I can never figure out what drip price, say Harvest Tesla ETF would use for the reinvestment. Today was the day they sent to broker. Okay, so then if they send it to the broker, then tomorrow you'll have it for sure. Let's see. Michelle says you answered my questions, and I did want to know about the candle wicks. Many thanks. Oh, no problem. No problem. All right. Paul says when a stock is in a range, why does most of the time it falls 3 times and usually the 4th time it breaks out? I think I actually answered that when we were looking at it. It's just the more it hits a support, the less support that it has. Like, you can only hit something so many times before you break through, and it kind of works that way with stocks as well. If you try to think of it as the psychology level, think of it this way. Every time you don't break out at the top and you come back down to the support, people get to the point where they're like, oh my God, we just can't break through this level. And, that can certainly play on psychology. And that might be why it helps weaken that lower support. But keep in mind, this is just me sort of rationalizing it. So, you know, Jordan says, good afternoon, Candace. Hope you and Jill are well. We're doing wonderful. Happy Friday. Well, hello, hello. Good to see you. Paul, you got a message on ABC that your watch list only allows 30. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. All right. Claude says, curious, is it a record missing the bell by 10 minutes? If not, what is the record? It is a record. This is, I think, the longest I have missed the bell by ever. And it's funny, at the 10-minute mark when it dawned on me I missed the bell, I was like, did I miss it? Did I ring it? No, I don't remember ringing it. Um, so yeah. World free speech. Just a little information for all your crypto holders. Japan is unwinding for XRP. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Let's see here. Brian says that will be a new challenge besides the 0 to 100K. The challenge to miss the like button, or the like button, the bell. TGIF for everyone from Luke. All right. Mazamel says, any idea why HHIS missed the dividend today? No, but it can happen. If you didn't see it today, you'll see it tomorrow. And let me just take a look here, guys. Let me just double check here. Like I haven't even looked at my dividends today, to be honest. HHIS. So yeah, when we're taking a look here, your ex-dividend day. Well, that's wrong. I was gonna say it's showing. Actually, no. Well, no, it's not. It's not wrong. But give me a second here. I need to go into key data. All right, perfect. Here we are. So yeah, the payable date is on the 6th. So, oh, well, there's an interesting thing, right? That's November 6th. Okay, so I don't have the date in here for December. So I don't know what's going on with that. Did anybody at all receive an HHIS today? I don't think anybody did. It might be, and I think Joe, I think Paul was saying that this is the day that it was sent to the brokers. If that's the case, then tomorrow is the day you'll get it. So you'll have it. I have no doubt you'll have it by the end of the weekend. All right, let's see. Thanks, lady. Duty calls. Catch the rest after. Have a good weekend, all. Absolutely. Tomorrow is Saturday. Yes. And, oh, that reminds me. Do I still have it up? I honestly don't know. Yeah, I do. So I'm going to check this out tomorrow. This here, guys, this is the 9 Point is holding this little seminar tomorrow. It's only an hour. It's an hour on the phone. Well, technically, I believe there's a video. I think you're going to get a video on here. They're going to be talking about some of the things that are coming up that are shaping 2026 when it comes to do-it-yourself investing. Also going to talk about covered calls and a little bit on risk and leverage. So I'm kind of looking forward to this one. Now, I do have a link for it. I'll just drop it in here in case any of you want to check it out. It's free, you know. I always personally, I register for things like this and hope to get there. If for whatever reason I can't get to it, it's not like it's not a big deal. But anyway, I'm just going to drop that down there. I'm checking it out. You know, if you can't make it, I'll mention if what was in it. Yeah, we'll talk about what was in it on the Sunday show. Tim Smith says, breaking, U.S. tariffs are paying off $38 trillion of debt. Yeah, I'll have to. It's a lot of times when I hear some of the numbers that Trump likes to throw out, I question his accounting ability. I do question his accounting ability. Actually, the one that I find kind of funny the most is when he talks about that they're going to reduce the price. They're going to knock the price of prescription drugs down 1,000%. Well, I don't know if he realizes it. Once you hit 100%, it's already zero. So if you go 1,000%, does that mean you're going to start paying people to take drugs? That sounds to me kind of unethical in a way, but I don't know. Andrew says, enjoyed your 0 to 100 video today. Thanks. That's right. I totally forgot that release today. And the reason I forgot was, once again, I was doing a pretty heavy editing job on the interview video. So I totally, though, forgot. Normally I pay attention when a video comes out, but today this one got by me. It got by me. Brian, I didn't get any HHIS dividend today. I'm thinking tomorrow. Because I don't think I did either. Let's see, natural gas over $5. My Torlamine and ARC stocks finally taking off. Nice. Yeah, I like, and as you guys know from yesterday's show, I like Torlamine quite a bit. All right. Oh, the night pot's getting pretty active. All right. Ian says, I was surprised. I got dividends today. Normally it's the 7th, 8th. Was expecting them over the weekend. You can't complain. Especially if you get the chance if you're going to redeploy them. And on a red day, that's not a bad day for redeployment. Brian, let's see. They say 2025 max tariff revenue $600 billion. Yeah, obviously they're making money. Yeah, that money is going somewhere, but it's just not, it's not the point. Like I think Donald Trump is sort of thinking that, oh yeah, we're going to have so much money that we're going to be able to, people won't have to pay income tax anymore. Actually, one interview, he said, unless they find it fun. I was just like, what? I don't know who pays income tax for fun, but there might be someone out there. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see how that's all going to go down. And it'll be very interesting on the other side of this. So on the other side of the Trump presidency, it'll be interesting to actually, have some people like who are good with math, just go in and actually redo all the math so that we can sort of see, what has happened. Now, I will give credit for this. Most economists expected the tariffs to have had a much more negative impact than they've had. So, and that's not just the US, that's also Canada. I mean, when we were talking about the tariffs back when they were, being threatened, um, there was a lot of talk about the Canadian dollar going way down, inflation going through the roof, and it hasn't really happened. Now, obviously, there's been a big push in Canada to open up trade with more partners. That certainly is helping a little bit, but it hasn't manifested in worst case scenarios like we were kind of expecting. So that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing at all. So I like it. I like it. I definitely like that for sure. Holy banana bread. Oh, um, yeah, I gotta say. Oh, I did want to mention something as well. I know a couple of you have been talking about uh, having me take a look at your portfolios. So if you want a portfolio review, I will do them, but we'll do them on the Sunday show. And there's a couple of things. There's a couple of things that we must do if we're going to do it. And here, let me do one thing here. Gonna drop in the Blossom link. So I review them on Blossom, but I'll review them on the stream, right? So if you want me to review your portfolio, just upload it onto Blossom one way or another, whether you let them do it or whether you just manually throw it in. Um, yeah, just do that. Message me over there on Blossom, so that way there, I can find it. I can find it, and at that point, we can do it on a Sunday. I have no qualms. I think the last one we looked at was Ian's, but if that is something you want to do, feel free to do it. There's the link, of course, to Blossom as well. One last thing as well, since we're talking about these links. Oh boy, it feels like I'm plugging links here. But it's just that I've remembered all of this at the same time. I'm going to drop here the Wealthsimple one, and I'll tell you why. Today is the last day to sign up on Wealthsimple and get your name in for the gold draw. So if you want to win some gold and you want to try Wealthsimple, today's your last day to do both at the same time. You can still try Wealthsimple. I mean, they still give you $25 when you sign up, which is not bad. It's pretty much almost a share of 60. So it's a pretty 60 gift. Boy, that was bad. But yeah, that's another option as well if you want to do that. And when you do use that link that I included, that it'll give you $25. It'll also give the channel $25. So it is a way of supporting the channel. So, and it's funny. I'm really bad at pushing these affiliate links, guys. I almost never remember to. But today I did remember. Okay, let's see here. Brian says, talks of it replacing taxes is basically mathematically impossible. Correct. To reach 2.7 trillion per year, people would refuse the import prices. It would happen rather fast. Yeah, it's not going to happen. Keep in mind, Trump has this thing of saying whatever pops in his mind without actually checking to see if it's a good idea. And this has been kind of a thing. Even in the first presidency, he came up with some whopper ideas that should never have even been said out loud. I think one of the one of the craziest ones is he sort of mused in the press if it might be a good idea to nuke a hurricane. I was just like, oh my God, that's not a good idea. But, it happens. Claude says, I just noticed Spider-Man behind you. Is that new? No, it's been there for a long time. It might depend on how far I push my seat. Sometimes I am a little more to this side. In that case, you can't see. So yeah, the Spider-Man I got at Comic-Con in Ottawa. So Ottawa had a Comic-Con here. I think it was a couple of years ago. So yeah, and got this neat little Spider-Man statue, and it's joined my whole geek section of the room. But yeah, it's there nonetheless. It's pretty cool. All right. Luke says, I sold my Aritzia recently, looking to move into a more conservative income stock. A few REITs have caught my eye, CAR and DIR, for example. What are your thoughts on REITs these days? Um, REITs continue to disappoint me. So lately, they've been disappointing me. I'll admit that. Now, give you a good idea of the general REIT market is let's go over here to we'll go over here to RMAX. And I love RMAX. I still love RMAX. I know I said in the 0 to 100K, I think I used the word disappointing a couple times with RMAX. They've disappointed me. Yes, I am disappointed. But I'm not disappointed with RMAX. I'm disappointed with the sector. And I have been for a while. So, and actually, I'm just pull up the 1 year. No, I guess I have to go to the 3 year. If you now, it's funny. Some of these stocks where I'm so used to I only need the 1 year, but now they're starting to get older. So RMAX they had this was the good run. This was their good run when they initially came out. We had the beginning of the interest rate cuts. That tends to be good for REITs, and it was until, and this is when immigration policies changed and when that really impacted housing as we were basically putting caps on different immigrations, and we need to do it, but it's a pill that they had to swallow. And of course, well, that's Donald Trump right there. Donald Trump, it's like he has one fang, because he's probably too old to have two. But um, yeah. And we've had a little bit of recovery, but now we're sort of heading back down again. I do think we're going to see some recovery in here. And this one's kind of an interesting one too, guys, because you're getting like what, 10%? Yeah, right here, 10.515% yield. So you are getting a pretty good yield. And this one is also not reflective 100% of Canada because it is 50% Canadian, 50% US. With that being said, I think one of the other problems that REITs are having is the explosion of ETFs. So what I'm talking about is now there's so many ways to make good income. Back in the day, there never used to be. So if you go back to just to the beginning of the pandemic, REITs were some of the higher income things that you could have. Other than REITs, your big income mostly would be coming from split cores. They have pretty good income, but REITs were one of the favorite choices for people who want that income in their portfolio. But now you can look at things like HDIV, you can look at HYLD. There's a whole bunch of other funds, other ETFs out there that will give you more than the REITs will. So I think REITs have kind of lost a little bit of their popularity because of that, and that I think is also impacting them. Not, maybe the main driver would be the immigration changes, but I think that's another driver as well. Because here's the thing with that popularity: REITs and utilities were in the same boat. But let's take a look at utilities for a second. Here's Fortis for you, one of our dividend kings. You look at that and you're like, what? Candace, you're crazy. Utilities are going down. But not really. If you look at the last year, you'll see we've got all kinds, higher high, higher high, higher high, higher high. You could argue that that's slightly a lower high. You could argue. I mean, and you're going to have movement up and down, and you'll see it that's a normal thing. But for the most part, I think utilities are still going to maintain some strength. So I wouldn't be super worried about them that way. Now, if you're looking for, let's put it this way. If you were looking for something that is like a REIT, but really safe, well, I will talk to you about long-term care homes. So let's go to Extendicare right here. And they're up another 1.13 today, but let's just take a look at the last year. These have been doing really, really well. Now, you're not getting a huge dividend. I mean, let's be honest. In this case here, you're getting like 2.283, but you're getting a lot on the growth side. So I just want to put that out there. Another one as well, SIA. Here's one. So SIA, Sienna Senior Living. And we'll just go to the 1 year on that too. And you'll see, similar situation. It's been climbing pretty well. So, and there's others. There's others out there as well. So just something to keep in mind. Just something to keep in mind for sure. Okay. Andrew says soon Wealthsimple will be giving a match 1 to 2% instead of a golf draw and Apple products. Yeah. I like the idea of a match, for sure. Brian, my only decent REIT now is NXR-UN, still up 32%. The others are all down. And let's take a look at this one, NXR. I have not looked at NXR in a while. Here we go. So this is the Nexus Industrial. And right there, industrial. That is telling me something right away. I like that sector. I'm strong for that sector right now. All right, so let's just take a look at the last year on this one. So yeah, I mean, it came down, but it's also come up a little bit. And we'll go to the 3-year. Yeah, that doesn't look very good, but nonetheless, I still see a lot of potential in the industrial sector. I think it's going to be strong, especially as more and more money goes into infrastructure. Industrial is one of these side ventures that I think they'll do well over time. All right, and Brian is saying Utes is much better than REITs today, 18% dividend, but not much growth. Yeah, Utes pretty much move sideways, but you're not there for the growth. You're there for the dividends. Let's be honest. That's what you're there for. So this one here, the Evolve Canadian Utilities, and let's just pull up the last year, and you can see sideways. It's a sideways stock, or ETF, but it is paying you big time. That's what it's all about. All right, and guys, holy banana bread, Brian has come to the rescue and pulled a Monday show. We are having a Monday show now, and we also have, well, we've finally got the fourth goat into the corral. So what can I say? Thank you very much, Brian. Now I have to take a look and see who won. Ashisha, Ashish. There we go. I'm probably butchering her name, but I apologize. So yeah, we will be back here on Monday, and Monday there'll be an opportunity to push this push this train even further into Tuesday, of course. All right, let's see here, and you know what? I can turn off. Let me just go over here to the. There we go. I've just turned off the Nightbot. At least, well, if you still spam, I think the Nightbot will still come in and give a warn. I think the Nightbot can only warn you. Like, I don't think the Nightbot has any power. Like, I don't think the Nightbot can ban. I don't think. I hope not. I'll have to look into that because I don't want the Nightbot to have that much power. Tim says, shout out to Mark Carney for dropping luxury taxes on private jets and yachts. I love having a foreign billionaire as PM. This is one of the funniest endings to countries. I haven't really looked at that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's happened with private jets and yachts. I don't know if I would say that that's a good move. If you're rich enough to buy a private jet, I think you should be rich enough to pay the taxes on it. That's just my opinion. That's my opinion for sure. All right. Whew. So guys, we're an hour in. Not saying we're leaving, but if you got your last minute questions, get them on in, get them all in. We do have a Monday show coming up. We also, of course, have our normal Sunday show that's coming up this Sunday. And let's see here. Oh, Andrew says DBO to do awesome again today. All right. Well, let's take a look. Let's see what they did. DBO. So D-Box Technologies. And here we go. Up another 12%. Holy banana bread. So 12.838%. And we were looking at these guys yesterday. Yeah, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with what they've been doing. And we'll pull up that last year here. So they're still on a bit of a tear. Still on a bit of a tear. And this one, of course, guys, once again, this is the haptic one, right? The one that's doing haptics. I can see this being a pretty big thing. I can see this being a pretty big thing. So I'm still saying be cautious because it is still a penny stock, but we looked at it yesterday and I didn't see, there's nothing in there that I did not like. So this is an interesting one. This is definitely an interesting one for sure. And Tom says, Wealthsimple is offering a 1% match until December 28th on mutual fund transfers. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I like it. And it's funny, I'm not a fan of mutual funds. I'm just going to put this there because, well, there's usually, and I don't want to say all mutual funds, but a lot of mutual funds will typically have higher fees than say ETFs. So I think, and I think most investors have moved out of mutual funds into ETFs. And the funny thing is, if you have a financial advisor, and there's a lot of great financial advisors out there, but if your financial advisor works for a bank, one of the big six, they will often try to get you into mutual funds. And they will try to get you into their bank's mutual funds for a couple of reasons. One, there's higher fees, so the bank is making more money on it. And in most cases, I'm not saying all, but in most cases, those financial advisors who work for Big Six, they kind of have incentives, like as in, you need to switch this many people onto our mutual funds each month. So they've got targets, goals, all of that fun stuff. But like I said, I would prefer. Let's face it, we're all do-it-yourself investors, so I don't think any of us want to pay some of the absorbent fees. So I think we're good. I think we're good. Brian says, keep mentioning DBO and I might buy a penny stock again. I know. 25K to 2 million. Oh, that's, yeah, that would be interesting. I don't know of anybody with $2 million in mutual funds, but there's probably some people out there. I like the looks of URL, Canadian as well. URL. I see that and I instantly think Universal Resource Locator, but that's the tech part of me coming out. Name Silo Technologies. All right. Okay, let's take a look. Actually, I think this is the one to look at. All right, Name Silo Technologies. What are they doing? Okay, well, they've had a little bit of a run. They've gone from penny stock to, well, I'd still call them penny stock, even though it's at 140, but they're heading towards being what I would call a penny adjacent stock. But what does this company do? Let's see here. Domain name register, provider of domain registration. Ah, that's funny because when I said URL, I think of users, that is exactly what that is, right? It's used for internet addressing and all of that fun stuff, Universal Resource Locator, and then it turns out that they actually do domain registration and such. So very good. They got a very good ticker name. Very good ticker name. So I'll give them that. I like it. Claude says if I buy DOB at 84 cents, an hour later it will begin to drop, and next thing you know, it's at 25 cents for months. That's a possibility. That's the gamble of penny stocks, unfortunately. Even though, like I said, even though it looks good on paper, everything looks pretty good, and it looks pretty safe. It's one of those just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water moments. There could be a shark waiting for you. So you got to be a little careful. That's why I always say don't put like a lot of money into a penny stock. Put in what you can afford to lose, for sure. Your luck sometimes. And Andrew's even saying, please don't buy it. Don't buy it. So it can look good and it can look interesting. I always like to take stocks like this, honestly, and just watch. I like to watch them. And that way there, because if this stock continues doing well, it can develop into something that will be worth buying down the road. That's kind of one of those things. That's the way I look at it. Brian says mutual funds means sharing your funds with the management. Yep, it sure does. Paul says super sandbag future Tesla share price if Elon Musk fulfills the comp plan in 2023. 29,196 per share. Oh boy. I won't. Are you familiar with the Rick rule? I'm familiar with the Rick roll, but no, I don't think I know the Rick rule. Tell us the Rick rule, Andrew. Let us know. Maybe I've heard it by another name, but let's see. Paul says RRSP just hit up 50.4% since moving to Quest Trade mid-April 2025. Well, that's not too shabby. That's not too shabby at all. Yeah, Brian's agreeing that is awesome. Rick rule. All right. And now I'm so curious about the Rick rules. I might just, you know what? I might just Google it. I might just Google it. Let's hope it's safe for the internet. I'm pretty sure it is. Rick rule. Here we go. Stainless steel rules. All right. Rule. I'm not looking for rule. Oh, I typed in rule. All right, Rick rule. There we go. I don't know how All right, here we go. Rick rule. I'm buying the most hated commodities. Okay. Rule investment media. Rick rule. Oh, wait a minute. No, that's somebody's LinkedIn called Rick rule. All right. Well, maybe that is Rick Rule, great investor guy. That must be his thing. But what is the Rick Rule? 50 years of Rick Rule rhetoric, Rick Rule's top picks, Rick Rule net worth, Rick Rule Sprott, Rick Ruled wife. Okay. So all right. Now that you say that, you're talking. This is what got me. All right, I'm gonna go back to Andrew. So are you familiar with Rick Rule? I was thinking that it was an actual rule. I really wasn't expecting it to be a person. So, all right, obviously I'm not familiar with him. I do not know who he is. Now I know who he is. I thought he was a rule. I thought it was going to be like, do this and this will help you pick a stock. I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting a person. I really wasn't expecting a person, but hey, we got one. Here's to you, Rick Rule. Oh, that's so good. Brian says, I just checked. Since moving my money from TD to Wealthsimple in August and September, I am up 11.04%. I'm happy with that. Ooh, nice. I like that a lot. Is equal in. Okay. Yeah. All right. I don't know what that means, Brian. You got me, but sure, why not? Oh, we already did that one. Is equals in. That's a good one. All right. Let's go big screen. All right, guys. I think we're at the end of the road. We are coming back on Monday. We of course have the other. Oh, I got a QQQ as I'm going into the out. I got a QQQ, and I like my QQQ. So we gotta look at it before I go. Candace, how much do you pay attention to insider trading? ARC executives have been buying stock like crazy. Do you give that weight? A little bit. I'll give it a little bit of weight. I think it's situational for me. So if I have a stock that is struggling, and I'm thinking, okay, this might be a good entry point. If I were to then check and see that a lot of the executives were bailing ship, so selling like crazy, insider selling, I would be a little more hesitant to make that into a play. So I might just say no because of that. Same idea if I go to that company that's struggling and I see insider buying like crazy, I'm going to want to make a play. I will probably make a play in that case. So I will use it in situations where, where it's like it could be going either way. That might be a deciding factor. But um, for the most part, if I'm dealing with a blue chip company, I'm not really like, for example, I'm not going to, I don't care if there's insider buying or selling at Fortis. I know Fortis is a great company. I'm not worried about them. But usually it's companies that are not, that I wouldn't consider blue chip, and that there might be, and usually it's more struggling. Like, yeah, that's what I would say. Scratch says, thanks a lot, Candace. And Claude says, have a great weekend, everyone. Absolutely. So, guys, enjoy your weekend. I will see you on a Sunday. And don't forget, if you want to check out, that 9 point thing tomorrow, I'll be there. I'm checking it out. If enough of you guys show up, we can have a good conversation about it on Sunday. All right. Until next time, guys, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you guys again really soon. All right.